If you've tuned into any of the podcast episodes over the past year, you've heard me talk about the what and the why, the yes and the six dimensional why. I talk about it all the time. It's your damn manifesto. And you've also heard me talk about finding your damn people, who you need in your corner in your life. But I don't want to talk about any of that today. I want to talk about a different type of who, a different element of the who. And this piece is so critical and it's so personal because it's all about you and it's about who you need to be and who you want to be. And so if you're on a journey of bringing your big, bold dreams to life, and especially if you've been through something deeply challenging, then I invite you to stick around for this episode because it might just be the powerful piece that you need to hear to achieve all of those goals. This is All the Damn Things, the podcast committed to helping women achieve your dreams, even after going through deeply challenging experiences. My name is Bevan Farrand, the founder of the Take the Damn Chance movement and creator of the Do the Damn Thing method. Yes, I say damn a lot, but it does mean something. It stands for Decide and Declare, Attend Your Own Party, Moments Not Minutes, and Now is the Time. When it's come to navigating my own deeply challenging experiences and bringing my biggest dreams to life, this framework has changed my life, and I know that it can make a huge impact on yours. I just got off a really powerful coaching call, and not one that I was leading. I wasn't coaching a client. I was actually being coached. And through this coaching, one of the things that I was reminded of is that the most powerful thing that I can do, or the most powerful thing that I have access to, is who I am. And that's true for you too. The most powerful thing that you have is who you are. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in the how, and that's not important. You know how to do things. But when you're really clear on what it is that you want to do and who you are and who you need to be, then the how can take 1,000 different forms and the how can take care of itself. I was recently listening to a Jay Shetty podcast episode where he had Nicole Avant on, and she has written a book called Think You'll Be Happy. And in it, she tells the story, and I'll be honest, I haven't read the book, so I'm just going to be talking about how she spoke on the podcast episode I heard. But she talks about losing her mom to a gunshot wound. Her mom was shot by somebody who was robbing their home. And in the aftermath of losing her mom, she thought about, what do I need to do? How do I need to do this? And instead, she asked herself, who do I want to be through this? And that's a question I think we all need to ask ourselves. I think you need to ask yourself, who do you want to be? Who do you want to show up as? No matter what it is that you want to bring to life, you want to enjoy the experience. You want to show up as your authentic self, not somebody else, not what somebody else thinks you should do or thinks you should be, but who you are. It's one of the questions that I ask when I'm working with somebody about their yes. There's 4 questions. Are you willing to make this your top priority? Are you willing to resource it? Is it inspiring? And the last one is it personal? Is this your dream? The one that if you don't do this, then at 75 or 85, when you look back at your life, it's going to be the thing that you regret. That was the deciding factor for me when I decided to have my daughter, Mirastella. I knew that if I didn't do it, it would be the thing that I regretted when I looked back at my life. And when I think about my business, if I don't talk about the Take the Damn Chance movement, if I don't continue leading it, if I don't continue sharing the message about the Do the Damn Thing method and why it's so critical that we do these things in our lives, why it's so critical that we go after our big, bold dreams. If I stopped doing that, that would be the thing that I regretted. It's personal to me. When I think about it, I know that it is my soul's purpose. It's my mission. And that's something that is authentically me. And I want you to think about, who do you want to be? Who do you need to be? Who do you need to show up as? in order to bring those big dreams to life. And you are truly the only person who can answer that. If there's somebody out there that's saying, oh, I can answer it for you, they can't. They can help you find the answer. I can help somebody uncover their answer, but I can't give you the answer. No one can give you that answer. And once you're clear on what it is that you want, you can say things like, who do I need to show up as? So I struggle with affirmations that are things like, I am a New York Times bestselling author. I am a marathon runner. I am running a multi-million dollar business. I struggle with those things because if I'm saying something like that and I'm not actually doing that, my brain starts to fight with it. Instead, I like to shift to, I am the type of person who. I am the type of person who runs a multi-million dollar business. I am the type of person who is a New York Times bestselling author. I am whatever it is for you. I am the type of person who does that. Because if you are showing up as that type of person, how are you going to act? If your dream is to grow your own business and you say, I am the type of person who runs a six-figure business, a multi-six-figure business, how does that type of person show up in the world? I'm guessing that that type of person doesn't need to be micromanaged. I'm guessing that whatever it is that you want to bring to life, if you think about, I am the type of person who does this, then you know what to do, or you can imagine what to do. You don't need someone to tell you all of the steps. And if you need to understand how to do something, find that person, Google it, find the way to learn how. But what you need to remember is that your power, your authentic power in what you are here on this earth to do, that's yours. That's yours alone. And I know that you are ready and able to create amazing things. And I was reminded of that on that coaching call. I was reminded of who I am. And that's what I wanted to immediately jump on and record this episode because I thought maybe you listening might need to be reminded of who you are and reminded of how powerful you are and reminded that your dream is personal to you and it is worthy and it is valid. And I cannot wait to hear about what you have created. And truly, I want to invite you to share that with me and to go to callwithbevan.com and schedule a call. It's a 15-minute call where you can share what it is that you want to create. And I can just hear it and support you and remind you again of the power that you have. And I would love for you to do that. Now, today is my 1-year anniversary of this podcast. And I'm so excited. And a couple of weeks ago, I shared that I was celebrating the 52nd episode. And now I'm sharing the 1-year anniversary. And as I thought about it, and I thought about this, who do you need to be? The last piece that I want to share. So first of all, when I was thinking about this podcast and as I'm thinking about my next book that I'm writing, and when I get up in my head about it, I think, especially the book, I think, this is going to suck, but I'm going to write anyway. This chapter might suck, but I'm going to write anyway. I think it was Anne Lamott who talks about getting the shitty first draft onto the page. So we just have to do it. You know, my first podcast episode, my first however many, may have sucked. They may not have been as great. Maybe this one isn't as great as my podcast episode will be in 3 years. But that's okay because I'm still in action to share this message and to continue to live out my damn manifesto of sharing the damn framework with as many people as I possibly can in as many ways as I can. The other thing that I remembered is that just this week I was interviewed on a podcast, and as she was wrapping up our call, you know, that we were done recording, and she said something like, oh yeah, you know, we've just hit 10,000 downloads. And I was like, yes, I am so close to that 10,000 download as well. And then she said, we've just hit 10,000 downloads a month. And I felt myself shrinking because I thought, man, I'm not there. I'm not there. And how is she there and I'm not? And then I went and I looked at her podcast And she has recorded 252 episodes, and I've recorded 54. I have some time. I have some time to get to that 10,000 downloads a month mark. And it reminded me that not only do I need to say, who am I? Who do I need to be? Who do I want to be? But I also need to compare myself to me. And I wanted to share that as the final piece here. You can always make yourself feel better or worse depending on which direction you look in. You can make yourself feel better by looking at people who aren't as far along as you. And you can make yourself feel worse by looking at people who are further along with you and comparing yourself to them, feeling bad about yourself. I can do the same thing. And so instead, I need to remind myself and compare myself only to where I've been, which is when I started this podcast a year ago and I had 0 podcast episodes, 0 downloads, 0 subscribers, and where I am now at, I think, about 6,000, 6,500 downloads. I've stopped looking because it doesn't matter. It matters to me that you are listening, that one person who might have gotten something out of this episode. And then I think about, okay, in 5 years, where do I want to be? Where do I want this podcast to be? Where do I want this message to be? That is the who you should be comparing yourself to, where you've been and where you want to go. And remembering who you are is the most unique and precious gift you have to this world. And again, I would love to hear about what it is that you're creating and who you are in the world. And if you want to schedule that call with me, there's no obligation to it. If you just want to get on a one-on-one call with me and share that, then go to callwithbevan.com. And I would love to meet you virtually and hear all about what you're doing in the world. Thank you for being here today. If you've listened to all 54 episodes, I appreciate you. If you've listened to this one episode, I appreciate you. And I hope that you will be back here with me next week. Thanks for joining me today. Let me know if this made you stop and go, damn. If so, leave a comment on the episode, rate and review the show, or reach out on social media. Find me on Instagram @BevanFarrand or visit my website and let me know what you want to hear next on All the Damn Things.